Because of this, she actually decided to close her account and restart.
Your follower count is really a vanity metric. Just because you have followers does not translate to money.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral.
Hello. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Creator Deep Dive. We have someone special today. We have Aakash, who's also part of the team. And today is going to be a little different. Today, we aren't going to talk about creators, but we're going to talk about their problems and dive deeper into what it means to be a creator. So, Akash, both of us are creators, right? Not just with Thousand Faces, but we have our own channels. We have been creating content for a while. Um, why don't you tell everyone what your channel is about?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on, Adil. My channel, I started a YouTube channel of my own about a year and a half ago now, with the goal essentially of saying, hey, let me kind of do this and start with this and then see where it goes. I don't think I had like a definite goal in mind when I started it that I want to be a full-time creator in 3 months or something like that. It was more of a, this is an interesting space. I'm seeing some interesting folks come up here. This is a space that is new to me, so let me explore it. I think over time it's evolved into, this is a way for me to build almost my personal brand. My channel is broadly about product management and how to build a career in product management, how to grow and upskill yourself in product management. And I think over time I've played around with a few different formats, but that's sort of broadly what I talk about.
I also started very similarly, right? Like I started when I had a full-time job when I was still in consulting. But curious to know your point of view, right? And especially in India. So you have a job and then you're doing this kind of on the side. I think there's a stark difference between when you start and you don't know like how to monetize it versus when you actually understand how this industry works, how the economy works. So how's that experience been for you?
Yeah, I think that's been a bit of a learning curve as well. And, like I said, I didn't start out with a plan, but I've discovered a few things. So, first of all, I think everyone will be aware that of the, AdSense or ad-based monetization, where you put ads in your content through YouTube, or if you're a writer or whatever, you put ads and you get paid based on how many ads you put in. On YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time
Watch hours,
to be
correct.
eligible for that. But so most people are aware of that. What I have discovered over time is actually, for a lot of creators, that's a very small part of how they actually monetize. And instead, what they start doing much earlier than they can even show ads is start monetizing through paid products or through brand deals.
Right.
A lot of creators are very valuable to brands when they are below the 5,000 subscriber count, because what that means is your initial 5,000 subscribers are your most diehard fans. They're the ones who are like,
Mhm.
I've been watching this creator from the beginning. I like really vibe with them. I love their content. I'm really a true fan. And anything they put out, I'll buy or I'll subscribe or I'll sort of talk about. And so having
Right.
access to those early, creators called micro influencers or nano influencers is really becoming a big trend for marketing agencies and for brands, etc. So for me personally, while I haven't hit the mark for putting ads in my content, how I have started doing some amount of monetization is through a few different things. So one is, I've launched a couple of products on Gumroad, and so I have like kits and templates and things that my audience can buy. They can even like buy some time to get me to go through their resume, give them tips, things like that. So I'm essentially giving my audience a way to buy my time or kind of pay me indirectly to keep making more content for free for them. And a lot of them are like, hey, yeah, I'm getting this great content from you for free on YouTube. So there's apps like Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, etc., where they're just like,
Right.
can we just pay you directly, because we're getting a lot of value from what you're doing.
I think you mentioned Gumroad, and that brought back memories because I started off my creator journey by writing on LinkedIn a lot, and
Hmm.
LinkedIn creators particularly have A lot of them have like Gumroad profiles where they sell digital products. There's this guy on Twitter called Eslo, and he's like the go-to Notion guy who blew up on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he makes like I think over $100,000 a year selling just Notion templates. So I think that's something that even I did not know about. The fact that even if you're a micro or a nano influencer, you can still make money, right? But it just you have to think about it very tactically, and understand that who your diehard fans are, and position yourself in a way that it makes them believe that hey, I should buy into whatever he's selling. On the surface, your follower count is really a vanity metric. Just because you have followers does not at all translate to money. Once you get a little following, then you start thinking, hey, like now I'm it, right? I'll start making like tons of money, which is far from the truth. You have to understand, okay, why are people here? Am I getting people only off of like one reel that went viral or one video that went viral? Do I have those 1000 true fans? What I'm selling, does it make sense to them? If let's say you're an MKBHD, you can't start selling like a food product or Feastables or whatever Mr. Beast is doing, because it just wouldn't make sense to his audience. So I think when it comes to monetization, there are multiple layers to the business side of being a creator that people don't anticipate when they're still young or when they're starting off in this journey.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And something very interesting related to that I was thinking about is when anyone starts out as a creator, it's this constant sort of battle or confusion of what niche should I pick? How should I think about that? And everyone wants to try out multiple things. Like, I'm interested in travel, I'm interested in food, so I'm interested in dogs. So let me just talk about everything and make this a mash of everything. But what ends up happening is even if some of those videos like pick up and take off, your audience is so spread out that when you go to actually monetize them and sell them a product, the percentage of your audience that will actually go for that product is low,
Right.
and you
Yeah.
end up pissing off the rest, which is like, why are you talking to me about a dog treats product? I
Correct.
follow you for travel or whatever. It's something that Ali Abdal talks about a lot. Is it's about niching down to start with, to then blow up later on. So if you become the expert in a very narrow segment, you can, even if you have 100 or 500 subscribers, but you are the only source of that content for them, they will buy anything that you give them. So if
Right.
I become, for example, a creator of microbiology in Bombay, something, right? So that it's such a small niche and there's no other creators in that space. So for the people who are interested in that, they are going to find your content and they're going to be your true fans. The power of the internet is that you can actually reach all of these people who otherwise you wouldn't be able to find, these very niche interested folks. So that becomes very interesting and very important for folks. Two sort of creator examples I was thinking about here is, there was a creator friend of mine and she started off making content. She's a doctor and decided to sort of leave that and become a creator full time. So she was talking about that journey. She was talking about her medical career, all of that. And one of her videos, I think it was a day in the life of a doctor in London video, blew up for some reason in India, and Indian viewers really started looking at this. Because of this, she actually almost decided to close her account and restart, because she said, I'm not trying to reach anyone in India. So
Ah,
this is like just skewing my demographics and skewing the target audience that I have. But now 70% of my viewers are in India. So YouTube is going to keep recommending my channel to folks in India. So
right.
it becomes very tricky if you mistakenly get attention of a wrong demographic.
Mm,
How do you like course correct that and how do you fix that? She eventually deleted that video that was taking off in India, and then slowly rebuilt her audience to what she was actually focused on, which was more like UK, London based doctors, etc.
I've never heard of that happen before. That's really interesting. And I mean, I'd imagine like a very scary situation to be in.
There's some creators that go through their journey and they have a very like structured, like they know exactly where they're going, they know exactly the target audience they're going for. It's scary if, like, you know you're at 100,000 subscribers, but they're the wrong type of subscribers.
Correct.
What do you
Yeah.
do then? A lot of the things we've seen around Facebook and Instagram in the last few years is if they are just on one platform and that platform blocks their
Hmm.
account or
Right.
removes them from the platform, they have to basically start from scratch. While I have my YouTube channel, I also have a newsletter on the side, which both of them feed off of each other. But at least the
Hmm.
newsletter is something that I own those fans. In case anything happens to the platform on which I'm publishing, I can easily transition to another platform and move my audience with me.
When do you think a creator should start thinking down those lines? Because I feel like as a creator in the beginning, you need to kind of find the content market fit. You have to find, like what you like creating, have processes in place that help you consistently create, find your first 1,000 true fans. But it seems like you have taken like a very interesting approach where you've kind of started that from the beginning.
For me, I had the YouTube channel up for I think 7, 8 months, or maybe almost a year before I started the newsletter. Partly because I had heard horror stories of a lot of creators getting kicked off a platform and then having to start from scratch, etc. And I did a lot of research on this myself, like, do I need to start now or should I start after I have 5,000, 10,000 subscribers? And what I discovered is content market fit is a journey that you're going to have to go through on every platform that you're on. Let's take another scenario where I waited till I was at 10,000 subscribers and then I started my newsletter. I wouldn't have had the space or the time to experiment with my newsletter, because if I had my 10,000 YouTube subscribers, I started funneling them to the newsletter, they would
Mm-hmm.
expect exactly what the same content
Hmm.
that they were getting on YouTube. At this point, what I'm doing is almost building both of these platforms independent or with different voices and different types of content. The newsletter is much more personal, much more like journey related, career related, things about like moving cities, moving countries, not just related to product management. Whereas with something like YouTube, it's much more about sticking to a very small niche. So I think it's never too early to start. What I would typically suggest to someone is have one medium or one channel which is owned by you. Typically, email newsletter is the best, and then have another one which is on a platform that gets a lot of engagement and a lot of aggregated demand for you. So that's like the YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc. So if you have one of each, that gives you the space and the bandwidth to try out both of them without just going too crazy, spending too much time every week on being a creator.
That's pretty interesting. I've never thought of it that way. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This was another episode of the Creator Deep Dive. I'll add some of the previous episodes that we've done on Mr. Beast, on other creators. I shall see you in the next one. Peace.